Hey, how's it going? And welcome along. I'm Rory from Rate My Funeral. That was Rate, by the way. So, super exciting tech review today. I have here a Snapmaker 2.0, which is a 3-in-1 3D printer, CNC carving, and laser cutting and engraving. And this one was sent to me by box.co.uk, so make sure you do check out the description for a link on where you can pick one of these up. But I'm all set. Today you can call me Rory3 cameras, because I have you, and I have you. So in theory you should be able to see everything about this as I go through and open it. As always, I don't know very much about it. I've purposefully not looked into it too much. I know that it can do those three functions, the 3D printing, the laser engraving, and the CNC carving. I know it can do that. I know it's got a big bed on it because this is the A350, so this is the big version. Other than that, I don't know too much more, so this is going to be quite exciting to sort of go through it and see. And quite how I'll approach this, I'm yet to figure out. Before going on, I need to get this box open and find out what is actually inside here, so I need a tool to open the box. Probably not. We'll go with the good old Stanley. Now when using a Stanley knife to cut open a box, always be really careful that you don't go in too deep because you could damage something important. Well, I'm not sure what you were expecting, but it's a box within a box. Alright, now I feel silly. What?
We happy? Yeah, we happy.
I'll just give it a quick tip up so you can see. Now we have a bit here that says, take this out first. And we have here a quick start guide, which as you can imagine is quite thick because this looks like quite a complex piece of machinery. I've just found a second to take this out first. Now come on, you cannot have two things that are take this out first. That's just silly. So as you can see here, we have a row of 4 apparent linear modules. Alright, I can't count, it was 5. Alright, whatever. But now under here we have some other boxes. So we have tool heads, tools and accessories, 3D printing and filament. It comes with filament. Woohoo! Power module, touchscreen and controller. Nice! This is a row of boxes on top of another row of boxes. It's just genius. So this row of boxes, we've got a big work platform and we've got adapters and brackets and one called cables. And finally, at the very bottom here, we have just a box that says Snapmaker. So we'll find out what's in there when we get to it. That is the box empty, so I'm going to put all the junk away. And my first impressions is that it's boxed incredibly well. Lots of boxes. See what I mean? Lots of little boxes. But it's very nicely organised. I quite like this actually, in all fairness. Not messing around. I really like this kind of method of delivery. It keeps everything very organised. I like it. And I suspect this will help greatly in terms of the assembly of this unit, which I'm getting a little bit nervous about. But let's start. Let's just do it. So it comes with this rather tasty quick start guide, which is really nice quality. I have the same kind of feeling as when I unboxed my Prusa and built that, in the terms of receiving a nice manual with details and stuff, which you don't often get anymore. And I quite like this. I like having the physical thing as well as a digital one, but I like the physical one. But yeah, so that's our quick start guide. Yeah, it's a bunch of really nice, useful, interesting information in there. And also where to start. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting this all together, following the guide, and see how I get on. Wow, when you see it like that, you kind of get an idea how big this thing's going to be. Wow, okay, brilliant. Now in this box it says tools and accessories, and I'm hoping that means I don't need to find any tools out of my already rather messy toolboxes. I've got to show you that. That's actually beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. It comes with a proper nice little toolbox and everything is all packaged in there. Oh my goodness me. This is nice. It's just happened again. I hadn't spotted that. Look at the way they're packaged in there. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm so sorry, I'm totally geeking out here. This is genuine because of the fact that I'm such a sucker for things that are placed in little cutouts like this. You know, it just looks so cool. I love that. And I know it's weird. Yeah, okay, you're a bit odd, but to me that is awesome. Oh, we've got goggles for the laser stuff. Oh my goodness. There's a safety element. I've got to take this into account. So I will come back to that before I go diving head first into it all. Look at the dinky little USB stick. Isn't that pretty? So far, everything about this has been really impressive. Right, this is a little detail, and I know that, again, this is something that doesn't really matter normally. Check this out. So these are resealable. So normally when you buy something like this, you have to tear open all the packets. But this one, the packets are actually resealable. So if you wanted to put that away again, you could just seal it up and keep it nice. Again, it's not a big thing. It doesn't really matter when you come to use the printer, but it's nice that that's been taken into account. This is the screwdriver that it comes with, by the way. And I assume I unscrewed the back here. Oh yeah, look at that. It comes with all the bits that we're gonna need. And it just looked really nice. Nice. Right, I know I'm sounding a bit sycophantic, I know, but so far, I can't stop saying it. This is nice. Did I say nice? I think I used nice already. Right, to save you time, the feet have actually got the screws already placed inside them. Another attention to detail thing. Sorry if there were any weird sounds in that last bit. I realised I'd left my air conditioning on. Makes a bit of a noise. Right, let's have a look at one of these linear modules. Oh, we've got this big chunk of metal. Oh. That would do some damage if you hit someone with it. I don't know if they're all the same. I assume they are. It's got a cable coming out of the back of it, so it's somehow, it's not just a piece of metal, it's a little bit clever. I'm guessing then the steppers are inside there. Please hold the linear module carefully to prevent them from falling, okay? So I need to get 2 out apparently. Make sure the sliders are aligning with each other. If not, you can move them to the same position. That seems to be pretty aligned. Okay, attach the platform to the Y-axis. Do not tighten screws. Okay, so 4 times M8 screws. I'm going to pop the screws into a pot. Just to help you grab them and keep them safe. I've got to attach these to these. That looks like there is a specific way forward. Do not tighten the screws until step 5. So I'm just putting these screws in, but only, I'm not like tightening them, I'm just literally doing them until they stop. Okay, they're on but still loose. Now we've got to attach this big spicy boy onto it. Make sure I'm going the right way. So the big hole is going with the cables at the back. We need to put a lot of screws. There's 16 screws. Jeez, it's going to be something like that, I reckon. 16 screws. Okay, that's how I've done. It says here make sure that they're perfectly aligned within the grooves, which they appear to be. Good. Number 5, tighten the screws on the axis sliders. Okay, so right, we've got to flip it back over again. And then we need to slide it then until we can see. Sorry, this isn't really the most exciting part of this, is it really? But it's pretty clever how you have to kind of, you line it up with these holes so that you can get through to tighten it up. Because when I first noticed that now these screws were the side of the base, I was thinking, well, how am I going to tighten them up? So next it says attach the Z-axis holders to the base plate. I've got to find them. Right, so I found it inside this adapters and brackets boxes. This appears to be the next bit we attach. Again, it's very, very nice. It feels really good quality. And that's going to go that way around and it screws in from the other side. Just to be awkward. Okay. Right, touch screen holder. Ooh, it's going to be magnetic. Come around here and say hello while I do these up. Thread connecting cables through the holes of the holders and then attach the Z-axis to the Z-axis holders. Do not tighten the screws until step 12. Okay, so we've got to put on our upsies here. I really don't want this to fall forward. There we go. Right, we got one in. We're safe, we're safe. So there's a big difference between doing this one and the guider, the flash forward guider 2 that Box sent me before. Because obviously that one, I took out of the box, I attached the reel holder, and I pressed print. And it was giving me some really impressive prints. That was an interesting review to do because it was so easy to do. Whereas this one, I have to admit, I'm overwhelmed with how cool this is, but I'm quite liking the effort that's going into actually making it. So this one, once this is printing, I'll feel that kind of, like I've achieved something. So what I'm doing here is just poking the cable through, so it goes through there, so that this thing stands at the top there like that. Again, nervous, I don't want it to fall over, so I'm trying to hold on to it without it falling forward. Okay, we're good. When I was doing my build video for the Prusa, I didn't really review it, I just built it and made it. I mean, it's an amazing printer. It's my favourite printer that I've ever had and ever played with so far. But it was so complex to put together. I mean, it was great fun, but it took me 6-7 hours to do. You can do it quicker, but I was messing around a lot. Whereas this so far feels like it's somewhere in between. So far, it's been an absolute breeze to put together and very straightforward. And it's starting to take shape of something that looks pretty damn awesome, to be honest. Quick note, I actually messed this up. This was supposed to go down there. Easy enough to sort out, but yeah, not out the back, down the bottom. In the midline direction, manually move the platform to the position as illustrated, so right to the front. That sounded like it was scared. Then move the Z sliders to the lowest position until that they can reach. Okay, that's those done. Now we've got to put the final one along here. Okay, my cable is to the same side as the touchscreen holder, and I've got to put 8 screws in. Now I have to go around and tighten up all the other screws that I left loose earlier. Put your hands at each end of the linear module and then move the X-axis until you're at the top. There we go. Locate the Y conversion cable and Y-axis cables as illustrated. Connect them to the converter. Converter, eh? I think this is what it's referring to. Ooh, interesting. Double. Ah, I just found my Y conversion cable hidden underneath the touchscreen controller box. So it seems, from what I'm reading here, is that this goes into here, like so, and this comes down here, up through this one, and out the side, and then these guys here, sorry, you can't see this very well, I know, but they come up through a little hole here, and they go into our little converter box here. I'm going to make sure everything's all around the right way. So you're going to be like that, and you're going to be like that. Then I've got to pop some long old screws into the back of that. So now we've ended up with this kind of situation where our cables are all coming in sort of nicely underneath. It's good. Okay, we're now looking to bring in the stuff from the side. I've got to have it still just slightly off the table here. So Z in the same way comes off the side here, coming up this way, and in here. And this one this way, and then in here. And the same dealio with the screws. So I'm just going to tidy up the cables underneath with the provided Velcro. Next we're adding this, which is the controller, and yeah, it's pretty cool. We've got all dust caps for each of the connectors. All feels very nice. They're linked so you don't lose them. Nice, very good. Just got to figure out now where it goes on the side here. I put it on upside down. Got to turn it around the other way now. So, Z in Y, because I gotta. Is our top lab here, I guess. Okay, cool. So now we're going to connect the touchscreen, which feels, it's nice, like a little phone, and it's on a curly cable, so it's Old school and new school all in one. And it's magnetic. So it just sits there. I haven't got to screw it on or anything. That's great. It's USB-C. I'm guessing that's this one of these bottom ones here, maybe. Yeah, sure enough. And that's going to go in there like that. Next is the scary bit. It's the power. I always get scared when there's power involved. We have this rather nice external power supply. Wow. Follows on the theme of the rest of it. It's got these nice curves. It's really, really well designed. Okay, and this is going to go into this one. Apparently not. It's not the right cable. That's the right cable. There we go. Make sure the power switch is off, which it is. Right. Now we'll pop the power in. Absolutely amazing. Woohoo! You've successfully assembled the machine body. Now just select one function and complete the assembly and bring your first job to the world. Now, wow. Well, that was a lot of fun. That was awesome. And now obviously I have the choice over 3D printing, laser engraving and cutting, or CNC carving. Where to start, you know? I think I'll start with 3D printing because obviously that's what I've always done. So yeah, let's go ahead and set up the 3D printing side of things and see where we're at. So in my instruction book here, I have assembled a 3D printer, and it's apparently 7 steps in order to get this ready as a 3D printer. The first thing we want to do is grab the 3D printing module. Here are my modules. This is a heavy box. There's some quality inside this box, I can tell. Just look at that. Yeah, that's pretty. I want the one that is labeled 3D printing. So this is my 3D printing one. Very interesting, very compact. Oh, okay. Nice. The bit that concerns me is how this will come to like blockages and things like that. With the Prusa, it's very open, so therefore you can just take it apart and remove clogs and stuff. Whereas this looks really sealed, but I don't know. There's a little switch here. If I undo that, exposes the area where the filament goes down, so it might be alright. I'll have a quick look at the other two while we're here. So this is the CNC. Yeah, I guess you just put your drill bit in there and then it goes and does whatever you want to cut with it, or carve. Pretty straightforward. And then this is your laser one. This one's a bit lighter than the others. I'm guessing there's a infrared and a camera or something so it knows where it is and stuff. Cool, nice. Right, but we need to attach this one onto here. Okay, then connect the top one here, goes into the top of the print head. Now, we need some bits out of this bit that I absolutely loved earlier, this thing here. So this guy and this guy is our filament holder. So I need to attach that to there. Okay, so he's mounted up there. Right, heated bed. So there is a heated bed with this. I'm going to have to now screw in 22 screws into that. Well, let's have a look in the box. Here we are. Our heated bed. Look at the size of this thing. This is huge. It's amazing. I cannot wait to see what I can print on this. It's going to be brilliant. And no fiddling around trying to run cables like it is on the Prusa. It's just a wire you plug in and that's all. How does this work? Oh, okay. Check this out. I didn't actually realise this. This is a massive bonus I've just discovered. It has a removable plate, and that's what you print onto. So it's like the Prusa in as much that you can take this off, remove your pieces, give it a clean, put it back on. It's just got so much better. Although having just said that, I've now got to put 22 of these in it. So let's see how we get on with that. And done. Okay, so that was a bit of effort. Right, what is next? Make sure the heated bed is clean and there isn't any dust before you place the print sheet. Looks pretty good to me. And just to be sure, we'll just give it a real quick clean with some alcohol. And we'll pop the bed back on. That's very magnetic. I'm going to do the same again. Give it a quick once over, make sure it's not got any grease or anything on it. Lovely job. Okay, heated bed goes into next one up from the power. There we go. Final step. So there's just this little clip here that we put up the top here to hold this cable in place. Something like this. We are good to go. So I've moved the cameras around just a little bit just so to give us a slightly different view. Ignore this very Heath Robertson camera setup here, but to give a view of the printer from this side, and hopefully you can see it from this side, but you can also see this screen here. Hopefully you can see everything, and that's the important point because we are about to press the on button. lights on the front of that. I didn't know that. Move that back so you can see it a bit. This is kicking in. Snazzy little introduction animation, I like it. Another attention to detail. Start now. Terms and conditions. Does anybody ever read these? Agree. Alright, rename it. I've got to give it a name. Oh wow, okay. I'm going to call it Steve. Go. Save. Right, it's now connecting to my Wi-Fi. Safety instruction. Do not touch the nozzle or heated bed when the machine is printing. Go. Get started. Calibrate the bed. The module will probe the bed. Auto leveling is processed. Follow the quick start guide to get a proper Z offset, then save the settings. Whoa! She's alive, she's alive. Ooh. Okay, so the way this actually moves around almost looks magical because there's no, you don't see any belts or anything like that. That's really, really cool. Okay, it says about placing a calibration card. Now, in all honesty, I cannot find in any of this lot a calibration card, but it does say you can use a piece of A4 paper, so I'll do that. Manually calibrate the Z offset for the last point. Keep adjusting the height of the nozzle up and down until there's a slight resistance, and then save it. Okay, I'm going to go with that, and then save. Load filament. We have preset target nozzle temperature for our provided filament will be heated to its target. Follow the quick start guide. Okay, we have Snapmaker branded filament here. Excellent. To be fair, I was expecting some generic thing, but no. This is the real deal. Untangly dangly. And I've just snipped the end off. That sounds painful, right? Be very careful never to release that. Never ever drop your filament because it will go on here. It will go underneath. No matter how hard you try, it will go underneath. And then when you're printing, it will get caught. We're going to tap start. Please set up the nozzle temperature before 200. That is heating up, so I will leave that to do that for a minute. We now have load and unload options, so I'm going to go ahead and poke that in there, and I'm going to press load. And sure enough, I can feel it's taking it, and we're just waiting for it to pop out of the bottom here. Here it is. Oh. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to pop that off there, and I'm going to press done. Awesome! You've successfully completed the initial setup for 3D printing. You can prepare the G-code using the Snapmaker Luben to start your first job. Got it. Make something wonderful. I'm not going to go fully into the software at this time in this video. It's already far too much that I'm trying to cover as it is. Super quickly, I installed the software, I dropped in an STL file for the Benchy and converted it to a G-code and wirelessly sent it to the printer. It took minutes. It was super easy. I was genuinely really impressed with how easy the software was to get it to here. I'm now all ready and set to go. I've got a time-lapse set up, so we'll set a 3D print going, get this Benchy printed out and see how it works. And there you have it. So we just printed that out. To be fair, it was easy. I sent the file in, I set it to print, it just printed. I didn't need to do anything special on the bed or anything, it just worked. It's come out pretty well. You can see here, it's not a bad model. I did it on fast, it did it in an hour and a half, approximately, just over. And it's alright, actually. I suspect if I did it on the higher quality, it would look a bit better. With the fast setting, that's pretty good. So, 3D printing, tick. Let's change the tool head and have a look at the laser stuff. I will just quickly add, the fan on the power supply is pretty loud. This thing hums like there's no tomorrow. Quick look, that is how it looks after a print. Still pretty tidy. So I've got to take off the heated bed, and that is all of those screws have got to come out. Ugh. So the laser engraving platform is made up of these kind of interesting looking heat sink type plates, I think maybe in a very specific way, so we'll double check that. Right, I figured it. It's a slightly different pattern from what's on the manual, and you have to put them in a very specific way, but if you figure it out, it's fairly straightforward. Right, that's got the new bed on there. This bit's already all done, so we're ready to go. Initial setup. I'm wondering, because obviously there's glasses for this, I'm wondering, should I be wearing the glasses at any point? What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? I think it suits me. We're going to switch her on. I have this bit of wood that's come with it. So I guess we need to somehow mount that onto there. Okay, my piece of wood is mounted. Set material thickness, 1.5 millimeters. I assume that's what that is, isn't it? Yep, that's right. I'm going to hit save. Work table height. Before running autofocus, the machine needs to know the height of the work table. Oh. I don't think the laser thing's doing anything yet, so I think I'm alright. Right, so I need to carefully lower it. That's not lowering. Okay, and next. Ah! See, now it's telling me to put the glasses on. Ensure that you have one before you set up the laser tool and throughout. Okay, so they're going on. Set work origin. Jog the laser model where the job is going to begin, then set the work as an origin. What? Start. Start. Oh, it's doing it. That's some proper sharp lines that's doing on there. That's really impressive. Right, so that's now auto-focused apparently. Camera calibration. So in case you wanted to see that, that's what it made. Nice and sharp, right? Okay, I'll put my piece of white paper on. I don't know what this is going to do now. Processing photo 1 of 4. Interesting, interesting. Okay, it's finished its camera calibration. Awesome, you've successfully completed the initial setup. So just like last time, I'm going to go and set something up on the PC, wirelessly send it to this, and then I think we're going to make it out of that piece of wood there. And there we have it. So that is the cutout area, which you can see there is very neat, and if you like that sort of thing, rather sexy. And that is the little box that I ended up with. How cool is that? You take the lid off and you can see inside. Yeah, it's just an example, it's just the one that comes with it. It was really easy to get to that point. That's the important point. It was very easy to get to that point. So laser side of it Brilliant. So now I'm just going to swap it over and get it onto the CNC engraver. Then we'll run the test project that comes with that, which is a phone holder. That should be fun. Here we go. This is a heavy beast actually compared to the other two. Okay, so the base for this one is once again different. So we've got this this wooden base with an awful lot of screw holes in it. I guess I better get this one off and get this one on. And there we have it. That board is now on, so this is now ready. I'll hop into the software, I'll get it doing its thing, and we'll see how we do. So that was really interesting. Now the thing that I've noticed there's a couple of things that I've noticed that I want to sort of point out. One is, it's really messy. Like there is literally crap everywhere now. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, it's quite messy. Secondly, is actually, from the fact that there's sawdust in with this dust, suggests that it's actually carved this into the base as well. Which again, I suppose seems a bit obvious now, but again, just wasn't something I thought about. So the more you do this, I figure the more that you're going to start mincing this up. I followed the instructions for the heights and everything. Maybe it's possible to fine tune it so that you really, really barely touch that, but I guess that's the point of this, and I suspect that there's replacements for this at some point. The point is, it's very messy. I kind of need to clean it up. I need to give it a bit of a hoover, but I want to just take it out and have a look. So, I'm just going to go and give this a quick rinse.
A few moments later.
Well, what I can now say with some clarity that is sharp. Yeah, that is some really sharp cutting. I am super impressed with how clean that has come out. That's amazing. The grooves in the bed, they're noticeable, but they're not too deep, so it's just a little slight scratch. I want to get this popped out so that I can make this. This is a phone holder. Let's see what it's like. Oh. Yeah, just pops out. Nice. Okay. There we go. So this is pretty straightforward actually, this design. So we just pop that across there like so. That one goes in there, holds it in place. And there we go, a very simple but nifty phone holder. Unfortunately, I can't actually test it right now because this is my phone that I'm getting this camera angle with. So that's really cool, it did the job. And there we have it. That is all three tried and tested and all worked pretty easy. If an idiot like me was able to do these two for the first ever time, I have got no experience with CNC or laser at all. This is literally the first time, and I was able to do the samples super easy. The 3D printing, obviously done loads of that. It's a really good 3D printer. Considering it's capable of this other stuff as well, means it is a seriously impressive piece of kit. Now normally I do 5 things I like, 5 things I don't, but I think we've spent enough time in this video anyway. But a couple of things that I'm not so keen on is the fact that there's quite a lot of assembly between the versions. So if I want to change now to 3D printing, I have to unscrew 20 odd screws, change all of this. It would be nice for it to be kind of quick release mechanisms, because in terms of the cable, it's as simple as unplugging and plugging in, but everything else is screws. And like I say, if it was some form of quick release, for me that would make this absolutely perfect. The only other thing I would probably say would be the sound. The noise, the fan inside the power supply is really loud, and when it's doing stuff, it makes some noise. On a plus side, things that are really good are the fact that this mechanism for movement is kind of magical. The fact there's no visible belts or anything like that just looks amazing, and this moves fast. Unlike with a lot of 3D printers where you're waiting for the print head to move around, this one is super quick and whizzes around and gets where it needs to go very quickly. It is super slick. The fact that it's got this lovely touch screen that you can take over there. I was able to sit at my desk and control the printer from there without having to keep coming around. Really nice touch. It's really solid. I suspect the small versions are just as good, but having this big bed is so handy. I really like it. While the footprint is quite large, it uses the footprint really well. There isn't bits sticking out everywhere. It would be nice if the power supply was somehow involved. The fact that that can be put off out of the way somewhere is fine as well. Yeah, basically, in summary, I absolutely recommend one of these. It is awesome. Really, genuinely very impressed. Now, I hope you enjoyed my little journey through trying this out and giving it a go. If you did, please remember, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hitting that little bell will notify you whenever new videos go up. And yeah, I think now I just need to go off and find a Hoover and get all of this cleaned up. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye!